All right, you stud muffins, welcome to the video. And this is not like a Call of Duty video or me roasting somebody, but this video is just something that has to be made and put out there to as many people as possible, because this is some crazy, I don't know how to explain it, exposing the deep state from the Vatican, exposing the media, exposing COVID-19, exposing and just giving the riots taking place, Black Lives Matter. I mean, and this is from an extremely reputable bishop in the Vatican. Carlo Maria Viganò is a Archbishop of the Catholic Church who served as Apostolic Nuncio to the United States from October 19th to October whatever, blah, blah, blah. He previously served as Secretary General of the Governorate of Vatican City State. He has also been the guy who took on Pope Francis and tried to expose the Catholic Church for accusing him of covering up sexual abuse and giving comfort to a homosexual current in the Vatican. He is not a joke. Like, the dude is a legit, serious Archbishop and Vatican, and works and is known for exposing the corruption in the Vatican itself. So he's not like a guy that walks the corporate line, so to speak, but he has an open letter to the President of the United States exposing the deep state, exposing the strategies that are going on with America right now, and the nature of COVID and the health, and how it's like, no wonder people believe in a conspiracy theory, because this dude basically confirms what it's like. And another thing too, before we get into it, that weird move, like, I don't understand what's going on. That weird move where Donald Trump walked across the White House lawn and they threw away all the tear gas and got rid of all the rioters, and then stood in front of the church, a very famous St. John church. I can't remember what church it is, but it's one of the most famous churches in America, if not the most, I guess, symbolic churches for Christianity in America, with his Bible like this. And I was like, what is going on? That is the weirdest thing ever. Like that's a strange photo op. Like, what is he doing? After I read this letter to you here, you will see that was a symbol, man. Like, I'm not even joking here. It's just so weird. It was a symbol and a message to the Masons, the Masonics, to the evil that this guy talks is going on in America and the world with globalism and all this stuff. It was a symbol against them and like what's going on. That's what it was. He was sending a message via the media to the evil. It's okay, bro. I'm just saying, man. Hope this video stays up, but I'll read this to you here. We'll read it together, and it's just, man, it's crazy. It's about 3 pages. We'll get through as quickly as possible. If you can read it yourself, it's linked on my Twitter. I don't know if but anyway, it's just an open message letter from Carlos Maria Viganò. Holy Trinity Sunday, Mr. President. In recent months, we have been witnessing the formation of 2 opposing sides that I would call biblical: the children of light and the children of darkness. The children of light constitute the most conspicuous part of humanity, while the children of darkness represent an absolute minority. And yet the former are this object of a sort of discrimination which places them in a situation of moral inferiority with respect to their adversaries, who often hold strategic positions in government, in politics, in the economy, and in the media. In an apparently inexplicable way, the good are being held hostage by the wicked and by those who help them, either out of self-interest and fearfulness. Basically saying that the media, a lot of governments, and a lot of politics represent the children of dark and are trying to stop the children of light. Very strange so far. These 2 sides, which have a biblical nature, follow the clear separation between the offspring of the woman and the offspring of the serpent. On the one hand, there are those who, although they have 1,000 defects and weaknesses, are motivated by the desire to do good, to be honest, to raise a family, to engage in work, to give prosperity to their homeland, to help the needy, and in obedience to the law of God, to merit the kingdom of heaven. On the other hand, there are those who serve themselves, who do not hold any moral principles, who want to demolish the family and the nation, exploit workers, to make themselves unduly wealthy, foment internal divisions and wars, and accumulate power and money. For them, the fallacious illusions of temporal well-being will one day, if they do not repent, yield to the terrible fate that awaits them far from God in eternal damnation. In society, Mr. President, these 2 opposing realities coexist as eternal enemies, just as God and Satan are eternal enemies. And it appears that the children of darkness, whom you may easily identify with the deep state, which you wisely oppose and which is fiercely waging war against you in these days. Wow. have decided to show their cards, so to speak, by now revealing their plans. They seem to be so certain of already having everything under control that they have laid aside the circumspection that until now had at least partially concealed their true intentions. The investigation already underway will reveal that the true responsibility of those who managed the COVID emergency, not only in the area of healthcare, but also in politics, the economy, and the media. We will probably find that in this colossal operation of social engineering, there are people who have decided the fate of humanity, arrogating to themselves the right to act against the will of citizens and their representatives in the governments of nations. So the handling of COVID-19 is part of the deep state, apparently. We will also discover that the riots in these days were provoked by those who, seeing that the virus is inevitably fading and that the social alarm of the pandemic is waning, necessarily have had to provoke civil disturbances because they would be followed by repression which, although legitimate, could be condemned as unjustified aggression against the population. The same thing is also happening in Europe, in perfect synchrony. It is quite clear that the use of street protests is instrumental to the purposes of those who would like to see someone elected in the upcoming presidential elections who embodies the goals of the deep state and who expresses those goals faithfully and with conviction. So if you're not reading what that says, basically COVID-19 and the riots are manufactured to control populations, to try to gain control, to make Trump look bad, and to put somebody in positions of power to further push the deep state. This is coming from Carlo Maria Viganò, extremely high-ranking, whistleblowing Vatican Archbishop. Very weird. It is quite clear that this use of street protests is instrumental to the purposes of those who would like to see someone elected in the upcoming presidential elections, blah, 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 blah. It will not be surprising if in a few months we learn once again that hidden behind these acts of vandalism and violence there are those who hope to profit from the dissolution of the social order so as to build a world without freedom, solve a Caligula. What the heck does that even mean? As the Masonic adage teaches. So now we've got a reference to Masonic, what is this? Solve aquila, separate and join together or dissolve and coagulate in Latin, is a medieval alchemy quote, which is to say that nothing new can be built if not before we make space breaking the old. So they're trying to destroy what is going on right now, as the Masonic adage teaches. Although it may seem disconcerting, the opposing alignments I have described are also found in religious circles. There are faithful shepherds who care for the flock of Christ, but there are also mercenary infidels who seek to scatter the flock and hand the sheep over to be devoured by ravenous wolves. It is not surprising that these mercenaries are allies of the children of darkness and hate the children of light, just as there is a deep state. There's also a deep church that betrays its duties and forswears its proper commitments to before God. Thus, the invisible enemy, whom good rulers fight against in public affairs, is also fought against by good shepherds in the ecclesiastical, I messed that word up, sphere. I mess that word up all the time. It is a spiritual battle, which I spoke about in my recent appeal, which was published on May 8th. For the first time, the United States has in you a president who courageously defends the right to life, who is not ashamed to denounce the persecution of Christians throughout the world, who speaks of Jesus Christ and the right of citizens to freedom of worship. Your participation in the March for Life, and more recently your proclamation of the month of April as National Child Abuse Prevention Month, are actions that confirm which side you wish to fight on, and I dare to believe that both of us are on the same side in this battle, albeit with different weapons. For this reason, I believe that the attack to which you were subjected after your visit to the National Shrine of St. John Paul II is part of the orchestrated media narrative which seeks not to fight racism and bring social order, but to aggravate dispositions, not to bring justice, but to legitimize violence and crime, not to serve the truth, but to favor one political faction. And it is disconcerting that there are bishops, such as those who I'm recently denounced, who by their words prove that they are aligned on the opposing side. Like I said, man, at the beginning here, when he held that Bible up in front of St. John Paul II Church there, the National Shrine, it was a symbol and it was a message, man. It wasn't like I kept thinking, like, this is really weird. What is going on here? That's like, why would you do that and just stand there? Like I was like, what the hell kind of photo op is that? It was a symbol, man, against the children of darkness, Masonic, whatever, the media, everything. This is weird, dude. Holy crap. They are subservient to deep state, to globalism. Okay, but who their words? Anyways, such as those I have recently denounced, who by the words prove that they are aligned to the opposite light, blah, blah, blah. They are subservient to the deep state, to globalism, to aligned thought, to the New World Order, which they invoke ever more frequently in the name of a universal brotherhood, which has nothing Christian about it, but which evokes the Masonic ideals of those who want to dominate the world by driving God out of the courts, out of schools, out of families, and perhaps even out of churches. The American people are mature and have now understood how much the mainstream media does not want to spread the truth, but seeks to silence and distort it, spreading the lie that is useful for the purposes of their masters. However, it is important that the good, who are the majority, wake up from their sluggishness and do not accept being deceived by a minority of dishonest people with unavowable purposes. It is necessary that the good, the children of light, come together and make their voices heard. What more effective way is there to do this, Mr. President, by prayer, asking the Lord to protect you, the United States, and all of humanity from this enormous attack of the enemy? Before the power of prayer, the deceptions of the children of darkness will be collapsed, their plots will be revealed, their betrayal will be shown, their frightening power will end in nothing, brought to light and exposed for what it is, an infernal deception. Like, what is going on, man? Like, Mr. President, my prayers cause me to turn to the beloved American nation, where I have the privilege of honor of being sent by Pope Benedict the 16th as Apostolic Nuncio. In this dramatic and decisive hour for all of humanity, I am praying for you and for all of also those who are at your side in the government of the United States. I trust the American people are united with me and you in prayer to Almighty God, united against the invisible enemy of all humanity. I bless you and the First Lady of the beloved American nation and all men and women of goodwill. Signed, Carlo Maria Viganò, titular Archbishop of Ljubljana, former Apostolic Nuncio to the United States of America. Bros, this guy is a legit, no joke Archbishop who has fought against corruption of the Catholic Church. And bless you, Nancy. And dudes, this is like some cue the Illuminati music moment. This guy literally is like deep state, media, COVID, riots, governments trying to be Masonic, evil. This is like the movie with Tom Hanks. What the hell is that movie called? I can't remember. It was like Da Vinci or Quest or Quote or whatever. Man, this is holy look. I had to put this video here, dudes. I had to share it. It is what it is. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, this might be why people oppose Trump so much. I'm not like the biggest Trump supporter. I'm not the biggest Trump hater. But this makes a lot of sense when you put two and two together, boys. Woo! All right, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Be cool. Smash that like button. I usually do Call of Duty videos and gaming and whatnot, but we touch on topical stuff as well, because there's more to life than just ranting about Call of Duty. So thank you for watching again. Smash that like button, subscribe, and last but not least, and most importantly, stay black. Question authority.
Until the dog cracker, reptilian shapeshifter, bring you down.